On Court TV today. And let me start with this, Philip. I know you've talked a lot about, as a public defender, deputy public defender, that you are very cautious about showing emotion to the jury, right? And presenting the facts and making certain that it's done in a good, rational, pragmatic way for them to make a decision. And I feel like that was also the tone of the witness's testimony, even though he's describing the human remains of a tragic fire.
Yeah, right now, remember, there's multiple counts. So we're still, for lack of a better term, in Act 1 of the trial, where they are presenting the corpus of the crimes. They haven't tied the perpetrator of these crimes yet, not directly anyway, to the commission of this arson. I'm actually kind of, what's the word? I guess pleased, if you will, that the judge hasn't allowed particularly graphic photos into evidence yet, because that does have a very prejudicial effect of biasing juries against a defendant even before the person's been tied to the crime. So I like to, at this point, try to keep things cerebral, calm, unemotional, flat, and just stick to the facts so far. And it looks like they've taken a very surgical, clinical approach to this, and it's pretty clean so far.
Do you ever wonder or worry that the jury might be watching and think, oh my gosh, how can they be so uncompassionate or so surgical about it when all of these people were killed in these fires? Two separate fires. We know there was a car fire in between, two victims who perished in the first fire, one injured. And then in the last fire, there were 5 children, 1 to 14, and their parents. And so it is an emotional issue. Do you ever worry the jury may wonder why there's not more emotion being shown?
Of course, but keep in mind, they're people too, and a lot of jurors, because you don't really know them. I mean, during voir dire, you don't get much time to really vet these people, question them thoroughly, and figure out what makes them tick. Some of them are just poker face. They have a flat affect. You don't know what's going through their minds, if they're having flashbacks or if it is taking an emotional toll on them. It just might not be outwardly visible, but internally, they're processing it as a very upsetting event.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I want to listen to a little bit of the testimony with you, because when we come back to discuss it, one of the things I want to talk about is how you might be able to prove intent, because that's one of the elements. So let's listen. Again, this is William Horner, who's testifying about a victim that he found lying at the bottom of the steps.
Lieutenant.